In my video, Paradise Stolen, I made the claim that with the money spent fighting wars, America could have created a paradise. The reason the government gives for stealing $6 trillion of your hard-earned money is that they are just trying to keep you safe from terrorism. This argument is a lie for numerous reasons, but I'll only cover a couple of them. The first reason is saving lives. The number one cause of death in the U.S. is heart disease. You are 17,600 times more likely to die from heart disease than from a terrorist attack. If the government were to deal with this threat proportionate to the manner in which it deals with the threat of terrorism, then they would be nuking McDonald's franchises all over the world. You are also more than 8 times more likely to be shot by your local police than killed by terrorists. Yet, you don't see drone strikes on police stations. The fact is that the threat of dying from a terrorist attack is so low on the statistical scale that it's hardly on the scale at all. So we can safely put aside the myth that spending $6 trillion to murder Muslims around the world has anything to do with protecting American lives. This leaves us the justification of fighting terrorism because they are violating the human rights of people in third world countries. This is again another lie. It has been well documented in hundreds of mainstream and alternative journalistic articles and books that every third world despot and tyrant in the past 100 years has been installed and supported by the Western powers, especially the U.S. If America really wanted to stop human rights abuses around the world, then they would be black-bagging and hauling off to Guantanamo the heads of every major bank and multinational corporation in the country, since they are the ultimate source behind the abuse and exploitation of most of the world's populations. But let's cut to the chase. The prima facie case for the war on terrorism is the events of September 11th, 2001. 9/11 has been the excuse to launch wars, militarize the police, eliminate human rights, destroy the Constitution, justify kidnapping and torture, and carry out the full spectrum of spying and surveillance of the common citizen. And as we all know, 9/11 was an inside job. You know it, I know it, every political leader in the world knows it, and everyone on the planet with an IQ above 70 knows it. The truth is that the war on terror is actually a war on humanity, waged by a small group of diabolical interspecies predators. And you are forced, at the barrel of a gun, to pay for it all. The reason they get away with it is because most people are under the delusion that if they work hard, pay their taxes, keep their heads down, and never ask any uncomfortable questions, that the monsters will leave them alone. Well, history shatters this idea. People who stand up to the monsters will likely get a bullet in the head. But those that grovel are even more despised by the psychopaths. They don't get a bullet to the head. No, their deaths will be drawn out, slow and painful. They are worked until the stress and toxic environment in which they live causes horrific and painful diseases, where endless surgeries and poisonous medications, the literal death of 1,000 cuts, ensures that their last days on earth will be as miserable as possible, while their families suffer in anguish and are left with only a financial catastrophe. Modern humans with our knowledge and technology could have easily created a paradise, and instead we allowed ourselves to descend into hell on earth, because we continue to believe in an ancient evil, the evil of empire.